My name is Samuel, and this is my story, the story of poverty. Before I begin, please like, share, and subscribe to Tales by Savvy Sam, so that more people can hear stories like mine and learn from the struggles of real life. Now let us continue. I came from a family of 5. My parents, my 2 siblings, and me. None of us went to school because, in my family, survival was the only lesson we were taught. My parents were known across the entire village, but not because they were famous or successful. My father, Mr. John, was known as John the Borrower. Some called him Mr. J, the beggar. My mother, Madam Mercy, had her own nickname too. My children are hungry. Everyone called her that because she used the same words every day as she moved from house to house. Please, can you give me bread? My children are hungry. They have not eaten anything since morning. Please, can you give me a kilo of gari, rice and beans so I can feed my children? This begging routine was their only job outside farming season. Farming was seasonal. When the rains ended, hunger returned. When harvest failed, we knew what awaited us: embarrassment, insults, mockery, and empty stomachs. Some days, my parents came home with small food items. Half a pint of gari, a few spoons of beans, sometimes scraps of vegetables. Other days, they returned with nothing but shame written all over their faces. People could be cruel, especially towards the poor. Some insulted them, some chased them away, and some pretended not to hear when they knocked. I remember one day clearly. My father came home with nothing in his hands and went straight into his small hut. He did not speak. He did not look up. He just sat down, covered his face with his hands, and shook silently. I stood at the entrance, unsure if I should step forward. When I gathered the courage and sat beside him, I realized he was crying, something I had never seen him do. "Papa, what happened?" I whispered. He did not answer immediately. He just sighed deeply, as if trying to swallow the pain in his chest. Then he said, "My son, the world is wicked. Human beings are cruel to their fellow human beings." He didn't explain further, but he didn't need to. Understood. I knew the sting of hunger and the shame of poverty more than any child should. I knew what we ate, when we ate, came only from the kindness of a few people. I knew how my friends laughed at my siblings and me, calling us children of beggars. I knew how people looked at us like we were lesser humans. Our clothes were rags, torn shirts, shorts with missing buttons, and dresses that looked older than the oldest villagers. We wore them all year until they became part of our skin. Any day my parents came home empty-handed. We slept on empty stomachs. Hunger was our roommate. It sat with us, lived with us, and grew with us. When we fell sick, we didn't go to a hospital because hospitals were for rich people. Our medicine was bitter herbs. My mother would boil dark leaves with a smell so strong it made you cry before you even tasted it. But the day everything changed, the day I decided I would never remain poor, was the day those journalists came to our house. They said they were doing a documentary on poverty in rural communities. How they found our house, I don't know. But when they arrived, my father became angry. "Why are you here? Do you want to mock us?" he barked. They tried to calm him, but he was ready to chase them out. My mother stepped in and held his hand. "Leave them," she said quietly. "Let them ask." The journalists sat down. One of them, holding a microphone, looked around the room and asked my mother, "Mama, what is poverty to you?" My mother sighed deeply and began with her usual apology. "Sorry, we do not have cola nut. We don't have anything in this house." Then she looked at the man. "My son, you asked me what poverty is." He nodded. "You met it outside my door as you entered," she said. She pointed to us, my siblings and I. "Look at my children with their swollen stomachs. That is not because they eat too much. It is because they do not eat enough. Look at the clothes they are wearing. These are not clothes, they are rags." She pointed at the cracked floor, the leaking roof, and the broken mats. "Look at our floor. Look at our roof. When it rains, we don't sleep. Rainwater floods the house. My children shiver from the cold, but we have no blankets." Tears slowly rolled down her cheeks. "My children are not in school. That is poverty. My husband has no job. That is poverty. We depend on people's mercy to eat. That is poverty." She wiped her face with the edge of her wrapper. "My son, you entered poverty when you stepped into my house. Do not ask me what poverty is again. Just look around you, you are seeing it." The room fell silent. Even the journalists looked shaken. Then my mother added something I had never heard before. She began to define poverty like a scholar, like someone who understood the depth of suffering. Poverty is when you cannot provide food, shelter, clothing, education, or healthcare. Poverty affects a child's mind, their future, and their hope. Poverty is deeper than hunger. It is humiliation. It is helplessness. It is a shame. It is a cycle that traps you and your children. As she spoke, something changed inside me. It felt like a fire lit in my chest. That was the day I promised myself that I would break this cycle. That I would lift my parents out of poverty. That I would rewrite our story. That day I began my journey. Hunger is one thing, but growing up inside hunger is another. Hunger was not something that visited our home occasionally. It lived with us. It slept beside us on the cold, dusty floor. It woke up with us in the morning. Followed us like a shadow. Every day in my childhood began the same way. With an empty stomach and a question. Will we eat today? Our house had no clock, but hunger told us the time. If the sun rose and we were still sitting outside waiting for my parents to return with food, we knew the day would be long. Sometimes my mother would return with plastic bags filled with small food items, and we would jump with excitement. But on many days, she returned empty-handed, wiping tears from her eyes with the edge of her wrapper, whispering, "People are tired of us, they refuse to help today." On those nights, we went to bed immediately because sleeping was the only way to forget the pain in our stomachs. My siblings would curl up beside me, shivering from hunger pains. My younger sister, Ngozi, always scratched her tummy and cried softly. "Brother, my stomach is biting me," she would whisper. I would hold her and hum gently to calm her, though my own stomach groaned louder than hers. There's something poverty does to the mind, something painful and unforgettable. Steals your confidence, steals your dreams, steals your voice. It makes you feel like you're unworthy of anything good. That was who I was becoming without even knowing it. The children in the village knew my family's story. They knew my parents begged. They knew we wore rags. And they never failed to remind us. Whenever I went out to play with the other children, they insulted me. Here comes the begging family. "Samuel, where is your bowl today? Go and tell your mother to beg for us too." Their laughter echoed in my ears long after I left them. And every time they laughed, a small piece of me broke. But despite everything, my parents tried. They tried their best to give us what little love they could. My father worked on the farm with all his strength, but the land was stubborn. Some years, the soil refused to produce anything meaningful. The rain came late or too early. The sun was too harsh. The crops were eaten by insects or dried out before maturity. Farming was a gamble, and most times we lost. Yet my father still hoped. Every day after the journalists left, I noticed a quiet sadness in him. Something had changed. He was no longer the man who shouted or fought life loudly. He became silent, like someone who had finally accepted defeat. One evening, as we sat outside waiting for my mother to return, my father spoke in a voice so low I almost didn't hear him. "Samuel," he said. "Yes, Papa. Do you think we will ever leave this life?" His question shocked me. Parents were supposed to be strong. They were supposed to have answers. But my father was tired. His voice cracked. His eyes looked distant, like someone searching for a future he could not see. I swallowed hard. "Papa, we will. I promise." He smiled weakly. "You're only a boy. What can you do?" But inside me I felt a fire burning. I didn't know how I would change our lives, but I knew I would. I knew I could not let my siblings grow up in the same hopelessness. As we waited, my mother finally appeared from the dusty road, her feet dragging, her wrapper dirty from walking around all day. She had nothing in her hands. Her face said everything. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. We all stood up and followed her inside. That night we lay down on empty stomachs again. Hunger felt like a punishment we didn't deserve. The next morning something strange happened. A man from the village came to our hut carrying a bag of cassava flakes. His name was Uncle Emeka, a neighbor who lived a few compounds away. He dropped the bag at our door and said, "Mercy, I saw your children yesterday. They look weak. Take this and feed them." My mother almost fell to her knees in gratitude. "God bless you," she said repeatedly. But do you know what happened the next day? Another villager insulted my mother in front of everyone in the market. "You cannot continue this begging," a woman shouted. "Go and work. You are making the village tired." My mother cried all the way home. Poverty is strange. It gives you kindness and cruelty at the same time. It lifts you today and knocks you down tomorrow. One particular incident shaped me deeply. A wealthy man in the village once gave my father a job to clear his farmland. My father worked from morning till evening for 3 days. On the third day, when he went to collect his money, the man laughed. "John, you want money? For what? The work is not even good." My father knelt down. "Sir, I have worked. Please pay me." The man waved him away like a dog. "Go away before I beat you. I don't pay beggars." When my father returned home, bruised and ashamed, he did not speak for hours. I sat beside him. He stared at the ground in silence. A grown man, my father, humiliated for trying to earn honest money. That night I cried quietly. My heart burned painfully. I said to myself repeatedly, "This will not be my story. This will not be my life. My children will never beg. My parents will not die in poverty. I will fight. I will survive. I will rise." That was the night something changed in me forever. I decided that even if I had to fight the whole world, I would break this generational suffering. Poverty had taken enough from us. It had taken our pride, our dignity, our dreams. But it would not take my future. Not if I had something to say about it. Hope is a beautiful thing. But for families like mine, hope is a stranger that only visits once in a while and leaves without warning. Growing up, hope felt like the morning breeze, refreshing for a moment, then gone before we could hold it. My parents clung to whatever small chances life threw at them, but those chances were always too little, too late. After the night I made that silent promise to myself, to rise above poverty, I became more aware of everything happening around me. I watched people. I studied situations. I noticed which families were doing well and which ones were struggling. Most importantly, I learned that the world treats you according to what you have, not who you are. One morning, a rumor spread across the village that government officials were coming to register vulnerable families for support. People said they would be giving food items, school uniforms, money for farm tools, and healthcare vouchers. For the first time in a long while, my parents were excited. My mother tied her best old wrapper, the one with fewer holes, and my father wore the shirt he saved for special events. My siblings and I hurried after them to the village square, our hearts filled with hope. When we arrived, we saw a long queue. Families stood under the scorching sun waiting to be registered. But as usual, poverty had its way of embarrassing us. When it was almost our turn, one of the officials, a man with sunglasses and a sharp voice, looked at our father and said, "Where is your voter's card?" My father bowed his head. "I don't have." The man clicked his tongue loudly. "No voter's card, no registration." My father tried to explain. "Sir, please. My family is suffering. My children need food. We have nothing." The man waved him off like a fly. "Leave. You are wasting our time." The entire queue stared at us. Some laughed quietly. Others shook their heads. We walked home slowly, our shadows long and heavy behind us. My mother wiped tears with her wrapper, whispering, "God, why us? Why always us?" At home, my father entered the hut and stayed inside all day. The silence spread like a sickness. No one spoke. Even hunger seemed quiet. That day, I learned something painful. Hope without power is just a dream. But life did not stop throwing challenges at us. Another time, a missionary group came to the village to offer free medical checkups. They said they would treat children suffering from malnutrition. When we arrived, the nurses looked at us with worry. My siblings and I were thin, our bones showing through our clothes. One nurse placed her hand on my chest and said, "You children need proper food. This is not good." My mother wanted to break down into tears, but she held herself together. She said softly, "Madam, we have no food. That is why we are like this." They treated us, gave us small bags of food, and advised us to eat well. But the bag of food lasted only 3 days. After that, the hunger returned, stronger than before. There was a day that will forever remain in my memory. It was the day my sister, Ngozi, fainted while trying to fetch firewood. She collapsed by the roadside because her tiny body had no strength. When villagers saw her lying there, they rushed to call my mother. I was the first to reach her. Her eyes were closed, her lips dry, and her breathing weak. My heart almost stopped. My mother arrived screaming, my child, don't die, oh, don't die." We carried her home and poured cold water on her face. After a while, she opened her eyes faintly and whispered, "I'm hungry." Those 2 words cut deeper than any blade. Hunger had defeated her. Hunger had stolen her strength. My father returned from the farm and found us crying. He looked at my sister and walked out of the hut without saying a word. I followed him quietly. He stopped at a corner behind the house and stared into space. "Papa, are you okay?" "Yes." He shook his head slowly. "A man should be able to feed his family, but I cannot feed mine." His voice cracked. His shoulders shook. That sight broke me. My father, a strong man, a hard-working man, was reduced to tears by poverty. That night I made another vow. I will find a way out of this. I don't know how yet, but I will. A few weeks later, something happened that felt like a message from destiny. An elderly man in the village, Papa Nana, called me one afternoon. "Samuel, come here." I rushed to him. "I have been watching you," he said. "You are different from other children. You are quiet, but your eyes are sharp. Your mind works." I didn't know what he meant. He continued, "Poverty has humbled your family, but it has also given you strength. Use it." I listened carefully. "You will not remain like this," he said. "But to rise you must learn. You must observe. You must think. Even if you cannot go to school, life will teach you." Those words stayed in my heart like fire. He reached into his pocket and gave me something small, a notebook made from leftover paper pieces tied with thread. "Write your dreams," he said. "Even if you cannot read, your mind will remember." When I went home and opened that notebook, I wrote my first dream with shaky hands. "I will lift my parents out of poverty." It was a simple sentence, but it became the foundation of everything that came after. Little did I know that life was about to test that dream in ways I never expected. As the days turned into months and months into years, our poverty didn't loosen its grip. It tightened. Life became a battlefield, and every day felt like a new fight for survival. We fought hunger. We fought shame. We fought sickness. And sometimes we fought ourselves. But we always lost because we had nothing. Not money, not strength, not power. After Papa Nana gave me the notebook, something changed in me. Became more alert, more aware, more determined. But determination did not fill our stomachs, and it didn't stop the suffering that kept deepening around us. One rainy season, things became worse than ever before. The roof of our hut, which already leaked during normal rain, finally gave up completely. One night, the rain fell so heavily that water poured into the house like a river. My siblings screamed as we scrambled to lift our mats from the wet floor. Outside, thunder roared loudly, shaking the ground. My father did everything he could. He climbed up and tried to patch the roof with old sacks, but the water pushed them aside. My mother cried, holding my youngest brother as rain drenched us from head to toe. Our only dry clothes were soaked. Our only food, the little cassava flakes left, got ruined by the flood. We stood together, shivering, watching our belongings float inside the hut. Felt like poverty wanted to swallow us whole. When morning came, the mud floor of our home had turned to brown sludge. Our mats were useless. The little firewood we had was wet and couldn't burn. We had nothing to cook, even if we had been able to make fire. That morning, I saw something in my father's eyes that terrified me. Helplessness. He wasn't angry. He wasn't frustrated. He was empty. He sat outside, staring at the rising sun like someone waiting for a miracle. My mother knelt beside him and whispered, "John, we cannot continue like this, our children are suffering." Her voice shook. My father remained silent. His silence spoke louder than any words. Later that afternoon, my mother decided to go out and beg again. She wrapped a cloth around her shoulders, grabbed a small bowl, and left the compound. Hours passed. The sun set. Night came. But she didn't return. My siblings grew restless, whispering, "Where is Mama?" My father paced around the compound, worry written all over his face. Finally, we heard footsteps. My mother walked in slowly, her body soaked with rain and dust. Her clothes were torn. Her bowl was empty. Her face looked defeated. Before my father could speak, she dropped to the ground and burst into tears. "They insulted me today," she cried. One woman pushed me and said, "Go away. You and your children are a burden to this village." Another man told me he would beat me if I begged near his shop again. My father clenched his fists. "Next time, don't go." But my mother shouted through tears, "Then who will feed our children? You. Look at yourself." Her words cut deep. My father walked away quietly. My mother sobbed uncontrollably, and we gathered around her, holding her hands. That night, hunger held us hostage again. But something worse was coming. Sickness. My youngest brother, Chidera, fell ill. First it was fever, then vomiting, then weakness. His eyes became dull. His breathing became slow. We lacked medicine. We lacked money. We lacked everything. My father rushed from house to house, begging for herbs, begging for help, begging for mercy. Some people helped. Many shut their doors. "Go away. We are tired of your family," a woman shouted at him. He returned home with only a few leaves and roots. My mother boiled them, praying they would work. They didn't. Chidera's condition worsened. He cried weakly, unable to speak. His small fingers clung to my mother's wrapper. My mother's eyes were red from crying, her voice shaky as she whispered, "My child, please don't leave me. Stay with us." But suffering does not wait for anyone's prayers. One night my brother stopped crying. He stopped moving. He stopped breathing. My mother screamed in agony. My father ran outside, shouting at the sky, "God, why? Why my child?" Neighbors rushed in. Some tried to comfort us. Others whispered among themselves, "He died of hunger. Poor family. Such a pity." Pity. That was all people ever gave us. We buried my brother under a small mango tree behind the house. My mother collapsed beside the grave, crying so loudly that the sound echoed through the village. My father stood there numb. I held my siblings, trying to stop them from trembling. After the burial, my father stopped talking entirely. He barely ate. He walked around like a ghost. My mother looked older instantly. Her eyes lost their shine. Her laughter vanished. A part of our family had been taken, and nothing remained the same. The villagers stayed away. Some believed our family carried bad luck. Others were simply tired of dealing with our poverty. One afternoon, as I sat beside my brother's grave, writing in my notebook, I felt my dream changing. It was no longer just a promise, it became a mission. I wrote, "Poverty killed my brother. I must escape it before it kills the rest of us." That day, something hardened in my spirit. I stopped crying as often. I stopped waiting for miracles. I stopped believing that help was coming. Instead, I started planning. I didn't know how or when, But I knew I had to find a way to save my family. Poverty had pushed us to the edge. Desperation had become our only friend. And I was determined, no matter the cost, to find a path out. Because if I didn't, poverty would claim another victim. And I refused to let that happen. The year I turned 16 was the year everything in my life began to shift. I had spent my whole childhood watching my parents struggle, watching neighbors laugh at us, watching my siblings, and I moved through life like shadows of other children. But somehow, inside me, a small hope was growing. It was quiet, but it was stubborn. It refused to die. One hot afternoon, as dry winds blew dust across our compound, a man entered our community. Nobody knew him. Nobody had seen him before. He wore plain clothes, carried a small bag, and walked around like someone searching for something important. People whispered that he was a visitor from a charity organization. Some said he came to survey the community. Others said he came to deceive people. But nobody really knew. Later that evening, he walked straight into our compound. My mother froze, confused. My father had just returned from the farm and sat in front of the hut, tired and dusty. "Good afternoon, sir," the man greeted politely. My father looked up, weary. "Good afternoon. How may I help you?" The man smiled gently. "My name is Mr. Gabriel. I'm from a non-governmental organization. We help families living in extreme hardship. Families like yours." My mother's eyes widened. She whispered almost too quickly, "We didn't call anybody. We don't have anything to offer." He nodded. "I know. I have been walking through this community since morning. I've seen people who are poor. But when I saw your home, I knew this was where I needed to start." My father's shoulders tensed. "Are you here to interview us like those journalists? To use us to make a story?" "No," Gabriel said firmly. "I am here to help." Help. That word sounded like magic. Help was something we had never known. My father didn't speak at first. He looked at the ground. My mother stared into space. And I stood by the doorway, watching everything. Finally, Gabriel asked softly, "Can you tell me your biggest challenge as a family?" My father took a deep breath. "We are farmers. But farming is seasonal. When the season is bad, hunger is our neighbor. Our children don't go to school. We don't even have enough clothes. Everything is on God." Gabriel nodded. "I understand. And that is why we want to sponsor your children's education. All of them." I felt my heart stop. School. Me. Learning. Books. Uniforms. My mother suddenly burst into tears. Deep cries from her stomach. My father covered his face with both hands and shook silently. It was the first time I saw tears of relief flow in our house. Gabriel was not finished. "We will also support your farming work with tools and seedlings. And we will renovate your roof. No family deserves to live like this." My father could not speak again. My mother held the man's hands as she cried. I just stood there, overwhelmed, unsure what to do. That evening, I walked outside and knelt on the bare earth. Prayed. Not for food, not for clothes, but for a chance to change our story forever. 2 weeks later, everything changed. Workers arrived and repaired our roof. They cleared the flooded corners, patched the holes, and fixed beams that had been eaten by termites. My mother received food supplies. Bags of rice, beans, gari, vegetable oil, and soap. For the first time since I was born, we had food stored in our home. My father received new farming tools. Shovels, hoes, cutlasses, and improved seeds. He looked younger, stronger, and more alive. He walked to the farm with pride again. As for me, I received something I had never touched before. A set of school uniforms, 2 exercise books, and a pen. I held them like gold. The morning I wore my first school uniform, I felt like a new person. My siblings and I walked to school shyly, afraid of what people would say. But instead of insults, we heard whispers. "Is that not John the borrower's children? Ah, they are now going to school. God is wonderful. Maybe their story will change." For the first time, the laughter I heard was not mockery. It was surprise. School was difficult at first. I could not read. I did not know how to write well. I was older than many classmates, but I worked hard. Every night, I sat beside a lantern and studied until my eyes burned. And slowly, everything began to make sense. Letters became words. Words became sentences. Sentences became meaning. Learning opened a door in my mind I never knew existed. My teacher, Madam Stella, once pulled me aside and said, "Samuel, you are brilliant. Poverty covered you like a cloth, but now I can see who you truly are." Her words pushed me forward. Years passed. I became the best student in my class. I began helping my siblings with their homework. My father's farming improved. My mother stopped begging. Our family started to rise. People in the community no longer call us beggars. They greeted us differently, with respect, with admiration. But I never forgot where I came from. Never. Today, as I stand here telling you my story, I speak with gratitude, not shame. My name is Samuel. I came from a home where hunger slept with us. I came from rags, from ridicule, from hopelessness. Came from the dust. But I refused to remain there. Poverty taught me lessons that comfort could not teach. It shaped me, hardened me, strengthened me, and prepared me for a future greater than the suffering I endured. When I look at my parents now, I see pride in their eyes, not shame. When I look at myself, I see a man who rose from nothing. And when I look at my past, I do not cry. I thank God. Because without poverty, I would never have discovered purpose. So this is my message to anyone watching this today. Your beginning does not determine your ending. Poverty is not your identity. It is only a chapter, not your whole story. If I could rise, you can rise too. No matter how dark your life feels today, light is coming. Hold on, believe, work, and never stop hoping. This is my story, the story of poverty, the story of endurance, the story of rising from the ground. And I pray that one day your story will also change. If this story touched your heart before you leave, please like, share, and subscribe to Tales by Savvy Sam. Your support helps more inspiring stories reach people who need hope. Your support helps us bring more touching stories, real struggles, and powerful lessons to people all around the world. Thank you for watching.